Good morning. I think it's still morning. So a while back, Iris asked me, she said, we're going to be out in DC. Do you think you could come and talk about some of the challenges you've faced at the Illinois Department of Transportation at our meeting? And I was like, well, for like a day or a half a day or, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. And talk about some of your success stories, but give me the weirdo ones, the crazy out of the box ideas that you've had and the things that have worked. Okay, I can do that. So at the Illinois Department of Transportation, we do two things in the Bureau of Maintenance very well. Very well. We plow snow and we mow. That's what we do. Challenges built in for pollinators from the very beginning. My position at central office was vacant for 4 years. 4 years. We have 9 districts, 339,000 acres, and influence over about another 1.2 million vacant. 4 years. So we have 9 districts, and they did whatever they wanted to do. And ages and ages and ages ago, way back, all the way back to the first Right of Ways Habitat meeting in 2015, way back then, I heard about the monarch butterfly and the potential listing of the monarch butterfly. And I was in a district then, and I thought, oh boy, this is bad. This is bad for the Department of Transportation. So I went to Springfield, wasn't working there then, talked to management. I said, hey, this is bad. We have to do something. We have to do it now. Yeah, okay. They looked at me like, okay, nice, thanks. Well, that didn't work. So I just kept trying. Next meeting comes around, kept trying. We didn't have a state budget. Crazy thing happened. We didn't have a state budget. We got an operations budget. I thought, wow, this is a perfect time. Explain why we shouldn't mow. There's no budget. I'll explain why we shouldn't mow. So I did. And I didn't properly prep the bureau chief, and she went upstairs to talk to the big three, to the upper management. And she came back downstairs and she said, yeah, we're going to mow. I said, well, but why? I showed them with money and everything. I showed them with why. Why? She said, well, they said, well, we got the equipment. We got the manpower. So what else are they going to do? So they're going to mow. That's what we do. Well, I wasn't expecting that question, and I hadn't prepped her for that. So, okay, well, we got to look at this a little bit differently. So I pulled together all of the district managers, and I have some fantastic people, and I still wasn't at Springfield. I kind of took the lead because I saw the problem, and I pulled together all of us that have this responsibility for all of these acres, plus rest areas, plus erosion control, plus adopt a highway, plus. Some busy people. Pulled together my team of 6, counting me, team of 6. Holy cow. I said, okay, here's the deal. I explained it to him. We had a meeting. We need IRVM plans. Okay, awesome. What's that? Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. So we fell back, and the little bit of success that we've had so far in Illinois with the monarch and pollinator habitat implementation really sets on the Indiana bat. That's kind of weird. Well, that's where it came from. We met, we got together, and sat down with my folks, and I said, we have to talk to these operations engineers, and we have to make them understand. Each of the 9 districts has an operations engineer. We have to make them understand what is about to happen here. How are we going to explain to them what is about to happen and what that means for us? We're thinking, paperwork and all of the millions of things that'll happen if it gets listed. Well, let's tell them about the bat. Everyone all across IDOT has been touched by provisions for protections for the Indiana bat. They get it. They understand it. They also understand mussels. A lot of them have come from construction. That's the way we started explaining it. We eat. That's a big one. We work for the people in this state. That's a big one. Third, you can leave the presentation right now if you want more regulation. Remember the bat? Everybody's like, oh, the bat. Yeah, mussels, right? A lot of them from construction experience. Oh, that's the way we went after it. A couple of more meetings with management, and they said, what does the committee say? Have you run this past the committee? And committee. We don't really have a committee, but by golly, I can get a committee. So I had people that I had convened, the 6 of us. I said, we are the Operations Pollinator Task Force. That's what we're going to be. And I went and talked to the people in environment. There's 4 or 5 of them that I work with. And the first time I went up there, I could have grown 4 heads, right out on my shoulders. Like, oh, somebody from operations is on the floor, right? Somebody's up here. Now they're my friends. You guys are going to be the environment task force, the environment pollinator task force. And built that, seeded those, talked to our local roads, our construction folks, put that all together, started having a few meetings, coming up with plans, drew it all up, took it back to management. I said, look, this is the right of ways habitat committee. Here's what we do. This is why we do it. Can we do this? What do you think? Go back upstairs, ask a few questions, come back down. Yeah, do that. What I learned very quickly, if the committee says, that means a whole lot more than if I say. So we have the committee now. And we took off. Very proud of this. This came much later. This is really not the beginning slide, but I'm really proud of this, and this is what I lead with. That is a section of restored right-of-way on Route 45. It's a pheasants cooperative project. Those are our butterflies that we raised, planted in 2016, I believe. That's outside of my office. I didn't have anything to do with it. I came back from the field one day. This big screen print is about 5 foot by 5.5 foot. That's what's on the wall at central office as you come into my office. That's awesome. So we rolled out Operation Habitat, and we started explaining, we're not going to mow, blah, 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 blah. And it went splendidly, and now we don't mow anymore, and everything's fine, and we have this fantastic program, and that's how it went. Nope, it went, what? What? We're going to do what? For the butterflies? They're just going to fly in front of the cars. All of the excuses that you've all heard. This is how we used to do it. Sometimes there's a few of those that we still do. Those yellow things there in the picture, those are the signs that identify that as a prairie and that you should not mow it. The small white sign says, do not mow. Huh. So we had some challenges built right in. So we want it to look like this. That looks really nice. I think that's fantastic. We want it to look like that. Yeah, but those are weeds. Oh boy, here we go. So we started with that. The picture on the left, to every engineer in the room that I was talking to, that picture on the left looks fantastic. That's what they wish every piece of our right-of-way looked like. So I showed them the picture on the right. This was in that very first presentation. I said, that's what they see. I go, well, yeah, but that looks really good. I understand, but does that? No. A lot more went into it. That first year, I think 34 presentations. Teach, teach, teach. Rolled out a new mowing policy. This time it actually made it into policy. When I very first started talking to them about policy, 9 districts, 9 different ways. That policy was in a book, printed on paper, and it was some different forms of incarnations of that policy. We rolled this one out. And that's when I became friends with our media people, right? Make friends with your media people. Take a few minutes, explain to them what you're trying to do and why. The big media people for your whole agency or your organization. And you'll have to do it over and over and over. In our state, in our department, they're somewhat political, so they come and go. I've trained in the last 15 or 18 months, probably 6 of them. They love good media. And so I started sending them pictures, and they'd tweet it, and they'd Facebook it, and they'd whatever else. They like good things to say. Sometimes they didn't, so I sent them more things. So the mowing policy came out, and then this happened in Illinois. And all of those fear factors that we'd been building into all of our engineers, right? My environmental friends shudder when I show this. It shut down the job as a local project. It shut it down. And suddenly the engineers went, oh, holy cow, they were telling the truth. Look what happened. Took some legal action, and it's all still going on, and I'm not supposed to talk about that part, but this got people's attention. We started doing stuff like this. Partner, partner, partner. I go into those field offices, into those areas with the guys that mow, and that's their job, and they want to mow, and they like to mow, and they want to mow, and we've always mowed. They run when they see me coming. Show up with my friends from Pheasants Forever or Quail Forever. They'll plow me over to get to those guys because they want to talk to them about whatever, right? So through that partnership with our friends at Pheasants and Quail, we're getting habitat all over the place because the guys want to do it for them. So make that work. And then we tweeted it. I think that, yeah, that's a retweet. So we didn't even do that one. That's been fantastic, that partnership. Remember I said 6 people, 339,000 acres. We don't have the equipment, the technical backing, all of that understanding to make it work. Those guys do. Working with their farm biologists has been fantastic. They're these big, ugly planters. There's 37 of them. It's a safety thing out in front of our headquarters. Ugly. The committee went to management and said, hey, why don't we do something with those planters out there? They're ugly. Cost us $900. We bought some plants from our state nursery, IDNR state nursery, and we planted them in habitat. So volunteer, all volunteer. Planted it into pollinator species, explained why, did presentations, taught everybody about it. We tweeted about it. They looked like that all summer. It was a contest. It was fantastic. We gave them coffee cups with pictures of our butterflies in the habitat. So now there's people with coffee cups walking all around the building. We just had the presentation last week to do it for this year. And of the 37, there's only like 10 still available, right? People want to do this. It's all volunteer. It doesn't cost the department anything. Uh-oh, now I can't go forward. Raising monarchs. That's a weird one. Why do you do that? This is a volunteer project. Came up with the idea, so we need to do this. There's 700, somewhere between 800 and 1,100 people work in our central office. Everything from personnel to whatever. They do everything in that building. I want every single person in that building that picks up the phone to take that accidental complaint call that got to them about, you guys don't mow. It looks awful. It looks like weeds. I want them to understand why and what we're doing. So we raised monarchs. It's volunteer. Did it on my lunch hour. My friend Sue, that's the biologist upstairs, she helped me. We raised 75 monarchs. People can't wait for us to start this. We had caterpillars everywhere, all over the building, right? We released them. We tagged them. We released 75 last year. We tagged 65, and I think one of them was recovered. I have to do a little more work to figure that out. So we raised them, caught it on time lapse, pushed it out on our YouTube channel. It's all over the place. We set up at the state fair with our friends from Pheasants Forever, right? There's our pictures again. Gave out seeds. Operation Habitat is a real thing. We created it. Handed this out at the fair with seeds. We had the caterpillars at the fair, too. I got to be like the lady at the zoo. It was awesome. Kids lined up clear out the back of the tent. Monarch Way Stations is pretty inexpensive. We already had these habitats all over at our rest areas. We did 24 last year. Cost us $900 maybe to register and for the sign. They're all over the place. We tweeted it. Why? Education. Teach, 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 teach. See a theme? Use that social media. Doesn't cost anything. Just have to explain. The theme is not that I'm in a lot of them. It just works out that way. Partner. Partner, partner, partner. When I present, I ask the question at the end, who is the Illinois Department of Transportation willing to partner with? And they come up with all sorts of answers. The answer is anybody, really. Anybody that wants to do a project. Close with that. That's another shot of that restored habitat. It looks good. I have these examples. I can show them. People want that. They like that. That's happening all over the place. We did change mowing policy. By changing mowing policy and reducing it last year, we saved about 80,000 acres. This year, we'll add about 10,000 more. Do we have challenges? Yes, every single day. Keep trying, keep teaching. Just a quickie here, just to show you that there's a lot to it. And yes, I will answer the question. I do sleep occasionally. This is actually about 16 months. So you don't have to read all these as they fly in. Just to let you know what my 6 people, which is now 10, so we've gotten some positions filled. This is roughly what's happened in the last 16 months at IDOT. It's not just one thing that's leading to a little bit of success. It's all of these and more that I haven't added to the Yeah, they just keep going, right? Busy. Thank you.